one of the LCS podcasts, their preseason show the week before. Every Tuesday come out with this show, guys. I can't wait. We're going to power rank teams 1 through 10. 1 through 10. DBSB, are you good to go, sir?
I'm ready.
Well, let's start with team number 1. And DBSB, honestly, we know who team number 1 is, guys. You guys know in Twitch chat. We both know it. I'm going to go right to it. It's Team Liquid. This is a team where DBSB both talked about in the preseason show. I'm not saying they're the Golden State Warriors of the LCS, but they're the favorites. They should be the autumn favorites. If you have money, you have your shillings, your gold, your nickels, your dimes, Paul in on Team Liquid. This team is balanced top to bottom. And DBSB, there's like 1,000 good things to say about Team Liquid. There are 1,001 great things to say about Team Liquid, and I'll have you take that spotlight. But I want to say 2 things before we hold over to DBS. We're talking about Team Liquid, okay? First thing is this. When it comes to impact as a top laner, I know he's not at Season 3. He's not playing at his prime. He'll probably never reach his peak, his ceiling. But I'm telling you guys right now, when it comes to impact as a top laner, I do not mind him ever having on my team. And here's why. The reason being with impact is this. He's not going to carry multiple games. You could play 10 playoff games. Let's say in the playoffs, you can play 10 straight playoff games, right? Out of those 10 playoff games, there may be 1, maybe 2 DBSB where he may carry. Maybe. But 8 out of those 10 games, 9 out of those 10 games, we're just going to see consistent performance where you're never going to say, oh shit, impact misperformed multiple times and he lost in the game. You're never going to say that about impact. And because of that, I think he's worth every penny Team Liquid's given him. He can perform at an international stage, domestic stage. I know he's not performing well in team fights as he was a couple years ago. I know he's not dominating lanes on his carries as he should. I understand that. But he is such a rock and he's so consistent. No one's shitting on impact, but he's definitely not playing at the level that he used to. And I'm not going to say he's washed up, but he's just a solid rock that I absolutely love. The second thing when it comes to weaknesses, Smithy, I think at the big stage, I don't think we both agree with this, he's not going to carry games, he's not going to outpath like Tarzan and these other top Korean junglers, but I think he's smart enough and good enough as a controlled jungler to not be a huge weakness. Why am I talking about these weaknesses? Because I honestly think that Team Liquid, when they play at their best, yeah, I know they have slow starts, but when they play at their fucking best, I think DBSB, they can get out of not only group stage, but probably win a best of 5 in Worlds and potentially get to the semifinals. So talk about good things at Team Liquid, DBSB. Go ahead. We're not going to spend too much time because we know they're the best. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me.
Neil, thank you for the big follow, sir. Thank you, Biddick Neil. Thank you. Go ahead, DBSB. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me or not. Am I cutting out for you?
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. No, I agree with you. There's nothing negative you can say about Liquid. Impact is a stud, like you know, and you can put him on a tank. He's known for playing tanks, and he doesn't need to carry games because they're so loaded elsewhere. He can just hold his own against anybody, and Smithy knows that, so he can get anybody else ahead. The bot lane looks super solid right now. Obviously, Double Lift's going to carry a lane, and he's outspoken saying Core JJ is the shot caller and does everything for that team. So I think that's a major upgrade. Jensen's still very good. People love Jensen.
Thank you, Nate is a bit of goat. Thank you. Hey, chill. Nate is the goat. Chill on fucking governments. Go ahead. You're super quiet. Let's get you turned up.
Sorry. I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah. Smithy gets everybody ahead. Bottom lane looks good, and Jensen. You can't do better in the mid lane. He's fine. He's solid. He's awesome. Everybody hypes up Jensen like he's the best ever. I'm not going that far, but I think he's still very good. He's a world semifinalist. He's got a huge champ pool. He's gonna win lane. So yeah, Liquid's awesome. We don't need to talk about them. They're in a tier all by themselves as we went through these power rankings. It's Liquid and the rest. So feel pretty strong about that going forward. I don't think we're gonna be wrong.
Is that better, guys? DBSB, go ahead and say your thoughts. Say your thoughts real quick. Say something so we can mic test. Sorry to have this going on. I thought he'd be louder. Go ahead.
No problem. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me or not. It seems like I'm having.
It's on your. It's my end. It's my end. It's on my end. Yeah, it's on my end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let's give me your second best team then. Second best team then. Go ahead. Give us your what's the second best team?
Second best team after the weekend. So I've got Cloud9 number 2. Okay, I've got Cloud9 number 2. I think what they showed is they're still one of those top-notch teams. I think they can beat all the other teams. Like I said, Liquid's in a class of their own. Even going 1-1, I still put them ahead of the other 2-0 teams. We'll talk about them here soon. But Licorice looked really solid. Niski definitely holding his own. I feel like, yeah, it's a step down from Jensen, but he's going to be fine. The rest of the team, whether it's Sven or Blabber or who, I think they're fine. Sneaky's obviously still a star, and I'm blown away. Zazel is going to be huge again this year. So
Nate is a bidding goat. Thank you for the bidding follow. Nate is a goat. Thank you for the follow, man. I really appreciate it. DBSB, I cut you off. Go ahead. You said about how Zazel going to be big. Is that your closing thoughts?
No. That's all I. That's what I was saying about that. We can talk about the individual games and how they played. I thought Niski played really well. I know you're a Niski hater, or you were after week 1. Hopefully, you saw some things that gave you some, positive feedback about what he's going to be going forward. I don't know if he'll be top tier for sure, but I think on that team, he's definitely going to get better.
I'm pulling up the list so you guys can see who played who, guys. Who played who. Cloud9 is second on my list as well. Stevie Man, which absolutely get you in the call. Absolutely get you in the call, guys. We'll get you in the call after the show at the end. Add us. We'll get you after the show, guys. But right now, I'm telling you right now, Cloud9 is second on my list. And I called Niski dog shit. I thought he overperformed in Europe. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Niski played really, really well. Super, super well in the Aatrox. He has a deep champ pool. Absolutely, Stevie Man, which C9 is absolutely fucking second. Absolutely. DBSB was absolutely right on the nose there. I think I want to talk about, before I talk about overall Cloud9, I want to say this. I want to say, I think Zazel didn't have a great weekend. I think he had some misplays. I think he was really just like, in some spots. He seemed kind of unsure himself, but I know he's a shot caller of that team, or a big voice, so I know he's pretty big for that team voice-wise. But C9 looked good, guys. Licorice were the best top laners in the land. Sven Skaren was kind of like yikes, but I think he'll be okay. Niski, if Niski plays, DBSB, if he plays like he did past weekend, very confident, deep pull, can play multiple things, he's going to blow me away. We had C9 second. I don't think they're ever going to compete with Team Liquid, but Niski has to be a top 3 middler in NA if I think C9 even has a chance. And he played very, very well. I know it's only week 1, but he picked up where he left off in Europe, which I didn't think he was going to do. I think Botlane did a fair job against Team Liquid. Yeah, it was okay. When they played against 100 Thieves, though, we'll talk about that later. Cloud9 long-dicked fucking 100 Thieves super, super hard. Super, super, super hard. So it wasn't even a debate here. And with Stevie mentions right, it has to perform. I don't think it's happening either, but I fucking called Niski dog shit week 1, and I'm telling you guys right now, I might have to eat my words week 2, week 3. C9, their past games, they played Team Liquid. Nothing really to say there, DBSB. Against 100 Thieves, when we talk about these games, we'll talk about the teams only. We're talking about. So C9, 100 Thieves, pretty much just controlled minute 1 to minute whatever, 30th. Anything you want to say about that game, or is it pretty much just, it was clean cut?
Yeah, once again, I'm having some connection issues, so I'm cutting in and out. I do think it's on my end. I'm going to try to fix it. But I think that 100 Thieves is in bad shape. They were my preseason number 2 pick. I actually had them way ahead of Cloud9, and I think, like the chat's been saying, like you've been saying, C9 stepped up. I think they're the clear number 2 now. We'll talk about 100 Thieves, but they steamrolled them. 100 Thieves has not looked good in general. I think that is more telling on their end than Cloud9's end for that issue. And granted, they had some tough matchups in week 1, right? 100 Thieves, drew the short straw in getting our number 1 and 2 teams right off the bat. But I did not think they looked very good. I thought C9 looked good enough to be number 2 on this list for sure. So I think they're the clear-cut number 2. Once again, I kind of separated things into tiers a little bit, and this is very strange. I have Liquid in a tier of their own, number 1, and I've got C9 in a tier of their own as number 2. And after that, it gets a little more clustered.
Guys, I think Twitch chat, db.sb, I think we're in agreement. Number 3 is pretty easy. Number 3 is going to be obviously the last undefeated team, which I believe is FlyQuest. At least for me, FlyQuest is the third team. db.sb, is that for you or not?
I actually put Clutch ahead of FlyQuest just because, they beat TSM, which is a better win than FlyQuest beating, Golden Guardians and Optic, or whoever they beat. I think that's right.
Well, I guess this is where we define. So I'll say why I had FlyQuest over Clutch Gaming for third. Okay. And it's kind of weird because I had Cloud9 second with 1-1, but they lost to Team Liquid, so that kind of why. The reason Steamy's Manwich did a good play. I had an easy week, but here's what I'm thinking about Steamy Manwich. Here's what I think about that. This is why I did disagree with you guys, okay? I think when it comes to cohesiveness, the reason we both rated FlyQuest out of the playoff hunt, db.sb, is because St. Vincent had his team playing as a cohesive unit. Very synced, very synergized, and I didn't think that was going to happen at all. I thought Pobelter was dog shit. I just didn't see this team gelling. Guys, FlyQuest...
They looked awesome. They looked awesome.
FlyQuest look like a cohesive unit. They look together. They look like they're a fucking team. They look like one. They were divided. And yes, we could talk about their easiest schedule. We'll bring up their schedule right now. On Saturday, they played GG. Then they played Optic as well. Okay, an Optic that had, not a lot of experience time, but the way they played, Manwich, the way they played reminded me of last year, where, listen, their ceiling is very limited. We know where they're at ceiling-wise, okay? We all know that they're a team that's probably not going to make it to the finals. But if they play cohesive as a group, they're going to pick up wins they probably shouldn't. Because, in spring, everyone's rattled, no one's playing together, no one's playing with themselves. It takes some time to go on. They look like out of teams there, top 3 in terms of just coming in week 2, synced, synergized together as a team. And Pobelter played okay. Viper played a little bit better than I thought as well, which is db.sb. Talked a little bit about Viper. Their bot lane was okay, but I just think FlyQuest they played really, really well. I thought the loss of Mitch was going to hurt. I know we don't talk about coaches much, but they played super well as a unit. They were probably, when we talk about team-wise, synergy-wise, they were, to me, first in terms of synergy. And because of that, I have them third on my list. And I think FlyQuest, yes, you could say about their ceiling is capped, guys. We know they're going to be, their ceiling's probably 4th or 5th, probably 5th to be honest with you, and that might be a little bit generous. But FlyQuest really, really played super, super well. They played well, they played in sync, and I just think FlyQuest was the third best team overall. They just seemed they had a lot more solid moments than Clutch Gaming that you were talking about, to me, as a team, as a unit. And this FlyQuest, if they play like that, they're going to win 9-10 games. And yeah, they're going to be bounced the first on the playoffs. But you know what? They look on page. And early on in split, we talked about this db.sb, even off air. When in spring split, it's so volatile. When you're playing as a team, as a unit, right out of the get-go in the spring split or any split the first 2-3 weeks, you're going to pick up some games that you shouldn't. And next week, I think they could go 1-on-1 and just be still on top of the standings. But you had CG third, which is fair.
We'll see. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying. They definitely were synergized. I wrote some notes that I think Camille Gallio, and you saw this in all games, I think if you put those two champs together...
Steamy Manwich, thank you for the big follow, Steamy Manwich. Thank you for the follow, Steamy Manwich. I'm sorry, db.sb. We gotta give shout-outs to followers. Go ahead.
They did it. The Camille Gallio, really strong. I also wrote down Turtle and Pobelter, very underrated from where we had them. I don't know if I'm being bad or not.
You're fine. You're fine coming through me. Yeah, you're fine. Just keep talking. You're fine coming through. Don't ever stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just keeps cutting out on me, so that's why I'm
not on
sure.
me though.
Turtle
you're
and
fine.
Pobelter, I think, are super, super underrated from where we had them at the beginning. I think we have to give them a lot of credit for how they played this week. Like, they came back in the Optic game. I thought they were down a little bit. They still won that game against Golden Guardians. I thought that combo with Camille Gallio was also really strong. And I also thought Golden Guardians kind of screwed up, and I saw this twice this weekend. They picked Olaf, and also what's the other game? 100 Thieves picked Olaf in the very first game against TSM. And it's like, he's early power, but neither one of them really used his early power, so he just gets shit on late game, like really shit on. And so I just think that was really bad. So I like FlyQuest. I had Clutch Gaming third. We can talk about them. So I put that 2-0 team ahead, just based on what I saw. It was a back and forth game against Echo Fox, which we know. I mean, you and I both don't have very high hopes for Echo Fox. That game really turned. Hooney just straight up just flashes over a wall to kill Rush at like 7 minutes, and that's really what started that game, and that's what you're going to get out of Hooney. I think DeMonte played really well against TSM. He surprised me. Watching him all last year on Echo Fox, I thought he was pretty underwhelming. You saw that TSM actually banned the Galio away from him because they know that's the champ he played, and they stepped up. They put him on a Kali, and he represented. He should have got a Quadra, I want to say, someday, or not someday. I want to say Hooney stole it, near that last team fight. But yeah, DeMonte looked really good. I think Lyra is now playing at a much, much higher level, being with other people he's comfortable around, playing a style of game that maybe he is more accustomed to. So anyway, yeah, I thought Clutch looked good. I think their comeback win against TSM was really telling. And I think when you have Hooney on that team, the sky is really the limit, and Piglet still thinks at least that he's the best player in the world. So as long as he's playing with confidence, I think Clutch has a lot of potential to finish third by the end of the year, and that's pretty good considering you and I both had them ranked. I want to say I had them 8th and you had them 9th or something in that realm.
Yeah. Their ceiling was 4th, but their basement was 10th. The basement was 10th for me. It was like 4 to 10, which is the biggest up and down for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right, for sure. So that's what I saw. That's what I saw from Clutch. They looked pretty good. They actually, they made good use of their picks. They played around. Yeah, they played around Piglet pretty well.
Well, we'll go with absolute. Talk about Clutch Gaming. Talk about my 4th team on the list, and mine was Clutch Gaming. They're another team. I think they went 2-0 last week. I'm pretty sure they went 2-0 last week. Yeah, they beat TSM in the first one. Then they beat Echo Fox. I think. Yeah, that's right. So with Clutch Gaming, they're 4th. Here's what we talked about. So DB and SB both said they have a very high ceiling, but their basement is rock bottom. And this is a team kind of DBSB. Cars, chatters, if you Twitch chat, if you follow me along, they're kind of like Echo Fox last year, very volatile. Very, very volatile. They're a very confident team. When they're confident, they're playing well, they're going to look really good. When they're playing like dog shit, something's going on, they're going to look very, very bad. But I'll say this about CG, guys. I want to put this as CG, DBSB, for you guys LCK. In the past 6 months, DBSB, League of Legends has not been a tempo control game. We saw it Worlds. It has been a faster tempo game. Pushing the tempo, pushing skirmishes, trying to get faster and faster. We saw that in Worlds. We saw that in semifinals. We saw a lot of LCK teams struggle with that against LPL matchups. Clutch Gaming is probably the fastest team. We talk about identity all the time. Clutch Gaming is probably the fastest team in the LCS. They're going to push skirmishes. They're going to push 2v2s. They're going to push for 3v3s, forcing 3v2s, 2v1s. The whole game, the whole time. They're going to win some. They're going to throw leads. They're going to gain leads, throw games. But this Clutch Gaming has an identity, which I like. They're 4th on my list because of this. They play at a high level. I think they're on a cohesive unit. I think they all know what they want to do. And DBSB, I wasn't sure about DeMonte, but one thing about DeMonte, speaking from how he played his interviews, it seems like he wants to play that style. He's with Lyra, he's with Hooney, who wants to play all these fucking very aggressive styles. Piglet, let's gank, let's get Snowball early, and Vulcan too. They're all finally on the same page for right now, and I think in a league where Team Liquid wants to play more control, 100 Thieves with a macro game, they try to play more control. We saw that. C9, I think they're more on the controlling end still, which is weird to say that. CG, Clutch Gaming, is the team that is probably the fastest team in the LCS. We want to know they want to shove skirmishes. They're going with the meta. They are playing at a faster rate, and I think that's going to help them out. This team, guys, high ceiling, very high ceiling from top to bottom. They could be like a 4th place team. They could be 10th place team. I saw a lot of good plays. I saw them go in and out, in and out. I think against TSM, we'll talk about that game. We'll talk about that game later on when we rate TSM. That game, pretty much, you're going to say how TSM just kind of threw their lead. They had a huge lead, but we won't talk about that. But it seems like Clutch Gaming are on the same page, and like I said, they're gonna gain huge leads. They're gonna throw huge leads. They'll throw games. I think if their mental can stay focused more so than Echo Fox, I think we'll see an Echo Fox like season where they can finish top 5. They play their style. I think they're too volatile. I think they're too volatile.
Go as far as Hooney will take them.
Yeah,
they're gonna go as far as Hooney will take them, and this is how he started last year, right? Where like he gives the impression he can beat anybody and single-handedly beat anybody, and he can because he's that good, right? Put him on a carry. But like the end of summer split, like the last half, he was just
Dog
absolutely
shit. Dog shit.
terrible. He lost it. And I think that tied into, honestly, I kid you not, I feel like last year that tied into the loss of Inero. I think Inero is a very underrated coach. I think he's very good. And I think that was I think that was a big part of his fall off, right? So that transition. And so they're going to go as far as Hooney can take them. If he falls off, the team's going to fall off. Piglet definitely showed up this week.
Piglet's Ezra game, Steamy Manwich, you're absolutely right. Guys, listen, Piglet, I fucking called him dog shit multiple times last year. His Ezra game is what the fuck you wish your solo queue Ezra was right now at DBSB. He was so confident, eating forward, landing those cues. He played such a supreme Ezreal. It was just, and ADCs and LCS aren't no slouches, guys. He played super, super well. Steamy Manwich, you're absolutely right. Clutch Gaming guys, yeah, they're a team that's very vulnerable. When they're confident, we see the Lear like we did at Envy. We see Piglet play at a high level. This team will be very, very fun to watch. They'll throw leads, they'll throw games. I'm not gonna ever have them win the title. They can go 8-0, and I still won't pick them to win the title. But very, very snowbally. Absolutely. Go ahead. DBS in the Twitch Prime. Thank you. DBS in the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Final say on Clutch Gaming.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, because you're getting your fourth place. Him is still giving your fourth place team.
Oh right, yeah, no. So Clutch, I think, yeah, I had to put him 3 here. I put him ahead of FlyQuest at 2-0. Put him just ahead of TSM, who I actually put at 4th, even above FlyQuest.
So you put TSM 4th. Okay, so your fourth place team is TSM. Go ahead. Talk about TSM then.
It is. I was just going to say, I rated them ahead of FlyQuest just based on the strength of schedule. I could see that flipping. And this is why I talked about tiers. Liquid, number 1, tier of their own. C9, tier 2, or number 2, tier of their own. And now my 3, 4, 5 teams are kind of in that tier. And that's Clutch, TSM, and FlyQuest. They're in that middle tier. And TSM, like, first game looked absolutely great against 100 Thieves. And now 100 Thieves was my preseason number 2, mind you, and they're one of my they're one of my biggest drop offs from number 2. They were your 4th, so you were definitely more right than I was. So part of that was TSM looked really strong. Bjergsen looked really, really good on the Zillion, and Broken Blade, so his first LCS game put him on Scion. I get it, and what's he do? He goes and he plays amazing. Almost solo killed someday at level
he had a great weekend in lane. Yeah, absolutely.
And then goes bot lane and straight up just dominates someday just in a 1v1, right? And so he can totally change the game. So I was super excited about Broken Blade. I thought they really looked good against 100 Thieves. He looked really, really strong against Hooney, against Hooney as well. Solo killed Hooney. Doesn't need much help on that Aatrox. And then all of a sudden, the wheels just fell off for TSM. I don't know why they couldn't get it back together. I expect them to win that game 9 out of 10 times with that lead. So I think if they iron out those kinks, I think they have more to look forward to than even a team like FlyQuest. So
for sure,
that's why I've got them 4th.
For sure, yeah. I want to say this about Broken Blade, guys. Broken Blade literally long-dicked lane. He long-dicked, literally. I don't think Hooney's a top 3 top coming in right now, but he literally long-dicked 2 really, really good tops. He absolutely outperformed somebody in lane. I don't know. He didn't absolutely perform. I'm sorry. He matched up somebody well, who I think was the best top coming in, but he absolutely crushed Hooney. Got a little cocky, but in lane DBSB, he absolutely crushed Hooney. There's no question about it.
And Hooney had the counter pick, right? So they put him on Victor to make that counter pick, and Aatrox still dominated the lead. He had a 3. I want to say it was a 2.5 to 3,000 gold lead. After lane, they need to play better around that lead. Obviously, they didn't take advantage of it. Victor ended up coming back in that game. Demonte got big. I don't know. Bjergsen on the Urgot. I think Urgot is a strong pick, but I think once again you throw in something, a Bjergsen special, give him the Zillion again, and I think that game's a little bit.
Well, that leads right into my 5th pick, guys. TSM my 5th pick, and honestly, when we look at TSM, I'll show you guys their games they played. 100 Thieves play like dog shit. DBSB, right, both know. 100 Thieves, they just don't look on the same. They look really, really bad. But we're talking about TSM right now. TSM absolutely Dardic fucking long dick fucking 100 Thieves. But I want to talk about this clutch game where like TSM, if you guys don't remember, DBS, we'll talk about this game now. TSM literally had a 6-0 2K gold lead, I think like 12, 15 minutes, like 18 minutes in, okay? And they had the same problems, absolutely, Steven, man, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. They had the same problem as last year where they literally sat and did nothing with their lead. And Broken Blade, for as big of a dick he had top and absolutely smashed his lane, he did nothing with his lead. Like, he had the Darshan factor DPS, we talked about this, where he was hovering back and forth between mid and top. He didn't know what to do. And to me, it's not 100% his fault, actually, BSP. That's a shot calling error. That's a shot calling problem 100%. Like, they did not know how to play with that lead. They had Aatrox, who was absolutely far ahead. You could have absolutely done whatever you wanted. Play on Aatrox, have him split lane shove, have him send 2, and you had the fucking Urgot still being okay against Karma, even though he got caught out that one time. You had bot lane that was doing okay, decently well. Bot lane, just, they should have played him a lot better. And this is TSM where Zix, I disagree with Steamy Man, which I think Zix is a great coach, top 3. I think he will put TSM in a better spot mid-game than they have been in the past. But TSM is my 5th because TSM, kind of like what you said, they have some errors where they just gotta, if they fix it, they're gonna be a top 3 team. They have the pieces. Sure. Broken Blade's absolutely. If Broken Blade plays lane like he did the rest of the year, he's absolutely gonna be one of the top tier tops in NALCS when it comes to laning. And I don't want to say sample size. I know it's a small sample size. He has it in him, and I think because of that, because of Bjergsen being solid mid lane, I think Sven and Smoothie they'll hash out and be all right. I think Acadians are just okay enough to get by DBSB.
I thought, once again, and this it's hard to tell. I don't know what we have in
He threw games. Like, a kid has no... By the way, guys, a kid has no idea what to do in team fights. Let's be honest. He has no idea what to do. When the game goes 30 minutes and over, he can't position, doesn't know what to do. But I think that's okay, though. I think that'll be okay for a team like TSM, though.
Correct. No, that's actually one of the notes I have. I feel like Acadian is really good at his jungle pathing. I think he's really good at ganking. I feel like he's really good at getting his laners ahead. But once it transitions to the mid and late game, he does not play those nearly as well. So I agree with you, and I actually wrote that down because Acadian looks really good, especially in the early game. Doesn't feed anybody, gets his team fed, doesn't lose individual matchups. But then once it goes to late game, it's like he also has a hard time transitioning. So I think they'll iron that out. It'll be interesting to see once Grigg comes back in because we know Grigg's kind of balls to the wall too. So that'll be kind of fun. I bet they switch around the roster a little bit.
Guys, what do you guys thought? Hold on. What are you guys' thoughts on? Can we see builds or not? Fuck, I don't want to see. Acadian built full AP Gragas. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Full AP Gragas, and he only had 1 kill, I believe. And he had 4. Okay, he went full AP.
Well, I think that's good, only because the rest of the team. I mean, they had the Kaisa, right? But the rest of the team is AP, and he's playing against who's he going up against there? He's going up
right
against,
here. He's up against Piglet, Demonte, Lee Sin, Kali, Victor. I mean, he got Iceborne, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you try to make picks. I don't mind it. I think that's actually more common than tank Gragas, actually. That's
what Steven Andrews saying, that you need to be full AP Gragas to be relevant. I see that point, but just like if he, I don't. Okay, so. Hey, TSM, tanky junglers, by the way. I like how he can have the freedom to go damage, right, DBSB? What's the talk about TSM? They force people into tanky junglers, okay? So he didn't do that, right? He got AP Gragas, that's the narrative. We killed the narrative off game 1, right? But if you're going to do that, Kane needs it. It's been his fault since day 1 in the LCS. He's got a position of better in team fights. He has no idea what to do in team fights. No idea. Him and Greg both. Like, once the game goes 30 minutes long, it's like rain over. After 20 minutes, he has no idea how to position, no idea what to do. I think Acadian will be fine. I think he'll learn it. I think they should go for Acadian over Greg, though. I really do believe that for next week, too. DBSB, what's your 5th place team, DBSB?
FlyQuest, and we've already talked about them. So that's kind of my mid tier, right? Mm-hmm. So Clutch, TSM, FlyQuest is my order for 3, 4, 5. So I know we kind of switch on that just a little bit. But yeah, so we talked about them, and I don't know if there's more to say. You talked a lot about them. I agreed with you on their team synergy. I thought Poe Melter, Wild Turtle, vastly underrated. I think if they keep that going, they can be very, very good.
Well, I'm going to start with my 6th place team. And, yeah, he did see me, man, absolutely. What's up, Ottawa Villa? What's up, guys? Hey, guys, my 6th place team is Optic. There you go, Zach. I'm talking about your team, Optic. DBSB, chat, what do you guys think about this? They literally First of all, Arrow should not be starting for this team. DBSB, yes or no? He should not be starting for this team.
Wait, did you put Optic 6?
6, yeah.
Sorry, I missed this. I was responding to chat.
Absolutely.
You put Optic 6. I agree. I feel like he should definitely not be.
Guys, what Asta has done in 2 weeks, in 2 games, is more than Arrow has done in a year and a half. Fuck Arrow, leave him in fucking Korea, leave his ass at Taco Bell Korea, the airport, leave his ass there. Asta is the new ADC for Optic. Guys, what do you guys think about Optic? Because right now, like, they don't have their full roster. You have Dardic in there in place of Meteos. Oh, by the way, Crown played way better than I thought. His micro play in lane was super, super good. They're my 6th place team because, yeah, they played against a failing CLG team, but their game against FlyQuest, it was pretty close. You could tell they weren't in sync in team fighting wise. That's gonna be their big issue. I think Dardock ended some team fights. They got caught out of position. But I think overall, Optic, for a team that haven't had a lot of practice time, I think they played super, super well. They were the 6th best team at the end of week 1. Coming into week 2, I don't know what they're going to do. We'll talk about that later on about what their substitution should be. Maybe some callers can call us about that. But I think Flack was a 6th place team. I was just surprised with how Crown played. I think Crown played super, super well. And Alarin played okay too. So that's my 6th team. What was your 6th team?
Yeah, so Optic for me, and I was excited when I saw that.
Is Optic your 6th place team, DBSB?
No.
not?
I've got Optic. No, I've got them down. I actually put 100 Thieves 6th. I'm giving them the benefit.
Wow.
Of it. They look terrible. I know. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
They looked bad. They played against, so I don't know how much is part of them playing Liquid and Cloud9, right? So that's part of it. Or TSM and Cloud9, not Liquid. So that's painful. But I'll talk about Optic right now. I was excited when I saw Dardock in because you know that I was very outspoken last week when I said Dardock is the best jungler in the league mechanically. Like I said that. And so I was glad to see him in. And then sure enough, they shacked us by smoking CLG. CLG terrible again, but Optic looked good all the way through. Asta looked really, really good. Crown, I feel like he's going to bring a lot to the table. He's the only starter on that team from the weekend that played, right? Like he's the only one, and he definitely held his own. Looked awesome, and yeah, I mean, I don't have anything more to say.
Yeah, go about 100 Thieves. That's a dog shit. 100 Thieves being 6. I don't know what the fuck you saw. And tell the people. It kind of convinced me. Dog shit. Go ahead. I'll bring up their schedule. Go ahead.
I didn't see anything. I looked at things and they looked very terrible. Like they looked bad. Things were not clicking. But once again, I don't know if the level of competition. I think things need to gel a little better. I still think by the end of things they're a playoff team, so that's why I put them 6th. I think once they.
But did they look like the 6th best team this past weekend? That convinced me on that because they looked. I don't talk about 100 Thieves. I'll talk about when I do, but they looked completely disorganized. Like they had no clue what the fuck they were doing.
Correct, but once again against TSM and Cloud9, who we both have very top half. So, and I would say both those games were blowouts. I don't know. I think Someday underperformed. I took some notes. I said he just has to play better. Anda needs to play better. I know you'll say, "Oh, Anda wasn't playing all that bad," but there's no reason that Someday should just get handled by a Broken Blade Scion top. Like for his pedigree, he just needs to do better. So the bot lane needs to play better. Bang and Aframu got outclassed seemingly in both of their games this weekend. I don't know where the shot calling is. They got engaged on. They weren't the ones, doing the engaging. They weren't pushing their leads. So, yeah, no, they looked bad. I'll give you that. I still have them as 6th. I'm not willing to drop. Once again, I had them in 2nd, so I still got high hopes. I just don't want to drop them too far. I still think they're better than the rest of the teams that I have. So once again, you had Optic 6th. I think 100 Thieves beats Optic. I don't know who they're playing this week. And I check this out.
I gotta check it right now. Yeah, I'll say this about 100 Thieves, guys. And people think about 100 Thieves here. I'm not. I'm telling you guys right now. We look at team's identity. When we talk about 100 Thieves, db.sb, this is a macro team. This is a team that has shot calling from top to bottom. They're gonna win games by controlling the map with Hughie mid, with Afremu support, right? And we'll talk about in a little bit, but they are a team that wants to play control the map, make plays, side lanes, and we're gonna out macro teams, out shot call teams, and make better decisions on their team. We saw none of that at all this past weekend. We saw some attempts, but it looked very disjointed, very performance. And Zalxan said Bang is overrated. I think Bang is a great team fighting ADC. He's not going to win lane. Him and Afrim are not going to win lane on a week-by-week basis. They're not that type of bot. They're bot lane that doesn't need ganks. They're just going to get by. They're going to be above average, and once 35 minutes comes along, unlike Cody's son, Bang's action to fucking carry games. I want to say this about 100 Thieves. We know what their mentality is. We know what their identity is. I want to talk about Anda with you guys, with you DBSB, and with you Twitch chat. What kind of jungler to you guys is Anda? Because to me, coming in, he was the guy who was kind of aggressive, kind of skirmishy, kind of been scaring, who want to get in jungle, invade, be kind of on the aggressive end. But since we saw him in 100 Thieves, we see him try to be the Meteos and be more of a controlling type jungler, play it slow, kind of play those bruisery junglers, try to be kind of like hybrid tanks, assassin, tank, AD, like kind of like aggressive but not too aggressive. Like, what the fuck is Anda? What is his identity? To me, I don't know what the fuck his identity is. I don't know if he's like aggressive jungler, control jungler. I don't know what the fuck he is. To me, he's dog shit. He looks lost. He looks out of place. And to me, I think Anda is a poor jungler. But I got like a Prolly who I respect. I think he's a solid coach. What kind of jungler is he? What does he do? What's his role in this team? Because right now, I don't know.
Right, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think he's good enough compared to the other NA jungle at doing those things. So you're right. He's not showing the control. Like I said, took Olaf in game one. If I've got that correct, I'm pretty sure 100 Thieves took Olaf like fairly early, where you would think like, okay, let's get Anda ahead, let's gank early, and then he does none of that. So I don't understand why they didn't play to that strength. They just let him go around and die and do weird things. So it's just, yeah, it's too much. I'm with you. I don't know what kind of jungler he is. If they're going to put him on an aggressive champ, he's got to play aggressive. And if not, have him play around the team in team fights better. Have him play around bot lane, whatever. But I'm with you. He did not play well enough. I know the analysts at the time were saying he didn't do all that poorly, but I don't know. He didn't do anything to impress me. And just of note, and then we can move on. 100 Thieves has Liquid on Saturday, so we're going to call that a loss. And then they've got Golden Guardians on Sunday, so I see them going 1-1.
Yeah, to me, 100 Thieves, like, I haven't talked about it yet. I haven't even ranked them yet. I just think, I'm surprised. 6 is too high for them. They look discombobulated, disjointed. They're not playing well. They don't seem like a team on the same page. But it's still early. I thought they were a team that they got Hughie super early. Hughie, by the way, misperformed. That one TP wasn't really his fault, but we know what he was going to do. I'm not going to spend time on him, but I'm telling you guys right now, 100 Thieves, they had a lot of prep time. They had time to have probably they got Ben and Hughie really quick. This team should look a lot better week one, but again, it's only week one, and they'll get better as the season goes on. We both agree there should be a playoff team easily, but
I expected better from Hughie for sure.
Well, I'll talk about my 7th place team, and you give your my 7th place team is Echo Fox, and this is a team I had very, 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 very low, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I thought this team is just like me and DBSB talked about. It was like, I think Solo's dog shit. I still think he only has 2 chips he can play well. Not versatile at all. This is the Phoenix and Rush show. If those 2 guys, by the way, Phoenix inconsistent as fuck, Rush inconsistent as fuck, they have to pop up to win games. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I still don't, but they actually looked kind of scrappy, kind of good. Apollo and Hako had some good games, especially their last game. Their last game, when I saw them play, then they played against Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians is bullshit, but Apollo and Hako played really, really well. They seemed in sync. They seemed well. And Rush was out jungling the fuck out of constructs that game. Echo Fox seemed really, really good. Echo Fox seemed really, 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 really good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's just Echo Fox seemed really, really good. Better than but it's probably because better than I thought. Go ahead.
I agree and I disagree. I think putting Rush on Karthus both games, a little interesting, especially running it back after he kind of fed like crazy against Clutch. Running it back was interesting. Ended up working out. They won a big team fight. I think part of their win, though, the very last
Golden
game,
Guardians, was
because did you see Haunter's Rise ult into turret mid? It's like that lost the game right there. That one play, he just straight up ints, 3 of his teammates into mid lane turret. They kill all 3, and that turned the game in Echo Fox's favor. So I have them 7th, just like you do.
Okay, so we agree with that.
I have them 7th. They're 1-1. They played. I would say their game against Clutch was actually more telling than their one against Golden Guardians, just because it was back and forth, and we have Clutch rated pretty highly now. It was back and forth. It did feel like it was in the balance, so I think they can come back. I think the Haku Apollo bot lane synergy is actually pretty good. I don't see them beating the top tier teams, but they can hold their own, and I think that kept Echo Fox in the game, even against Clutch, was getting those kills on the bot side when Clutch was getting the kills on Rush and Solo on the top side. So I think that was really good. I think beating Golden Guardians, I was happy they did, but I think it was more screwing up than Echo Fox playing particularly well. So I think they kind of got a little bit lucky there. And, Echo Fox is my team, so I'm trying to keep it real.
Yeah, last thing about Echo Fox, we haven't agreed on 2 teams like this in a while on the list here, but Echo Fox is a team that I think they're going to be very inconsistent, more so than Clutch Gaming, because they just don't have the personnel, the pop-offs like Solo. I still think he's dog shit, guys. I think their bot lane's okay, but I think
Phoenix was good. Phoenix was really good this weekend, though.
But we've seen him for years. We've been watching him for years, and we know what he's about. Like, he's just gonna play those zany picks. He's too inconsistent. He's way too inconsistent.
I like it. So they didn't put him on like an Azir or a control mage. They put him on
Corki and Lucian. Corki and Lucian. Yeah, Corki and Lucian.
So I like that. I like the teams that draft like that. So I think that has more of a chance. I think, and also I think giving up once again. I feel like you have to ban Camille Galio out. Like, you have to ban at least one of those champions, because I feel like that combo is just too strong. Like, Camille alt, Galio alt, the rest of the team just dies. Like, hopefully once we switch to 9.2.
Well, Galio should have been insta-ban. Yeah, I sent you a text where I was like, insta-ban,
right.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think that combination in general we saw all weekend was just really, really strong. And I feel like Phoenix playing those type of carrier marksman into champs like that, I like it. I want to see more of that, more duelists where you're not just trying to survive the lane, you're actually trying to bully that what should be a winning lane. So
We'll go on to our 8th place team. Good stuff there. Mine is, man, the last 3 teams all looked like dog shit. Zog, we'll get you in here for that, Zog. Look like dog shit, guys. These last 3 teams, they all look bad. They're all 0-2, I believe. 100 Thieves is mine, and the reason I'm saying that is because, like, they, out of the other 3 teams, at least they had 100 Thieves as opposed to CLG and CGG. Man, now that I look at the CLG game, we got to talk about that game, actually, because things against Team Liquid. But to be honest with you, Steamy, relax, Steamy. But 100 Thieves probably had, man, how do I say it? They're just dog shit, guys. These last 2 teams are dog shit. I think Sunday played okay. I think Huey just played dog shit. Huey, to me, is a big fat guy. Listen, Afromu wanted him, he got him. Huey, I'm a fan of his. I love how he plays for the team, plays everything, but he cannot be getting demolished. He cannot be 25 CS down, but struggling to make side lane plays. He should be able to make side lane plays because somebody's always going to be winning top, right, db.sbs? But if Huey cannot make those side lane pushes, side lane plays, and he's losing mid, this 100 Thieves team is going to be handcuffed all year long. It's just going to feel bad because Anda is already just like poor. Huey has to do a little bit more than he did against CLG last year, which I think Huey can perform better. He will perform better, but their bot lane anyway plays like Huey has to play a lot better. I think there's more pressure on him on 100 Thieves than CLG actually, because now if he's not, because of how the mid lanes are now, if Huey's not getting those advantages in the side lanes, getting those little pocket picks and doing cheese and doing whatever he has to do, and he's just sitting in mid lane losing CS, dying, that's just no good. It's no bueno for 100 Thieves. I have him 8th because as opposed to the last 2 teams, I think they had multiple players on their team, like Sunday, even though got bodied by Broken Blade, who didn't look lost, didn't look out of it. So 100 Thieves is my 8th place team. Who's your 8th place team?
So this is where we switched. I've got Optic there, and only because, I mean, maybe they'll be better, but this is their academy team. Like, we're seeing Optic Academy plus Crown, right? So I had them 8th. We've talked about both those teams. Like Dardoch, I feel like he should stay. I think I think he's going to give the team the better tempo as to what Meteos can give them. Meteos is a smart player, and if they want the shot calling, I think put Meteos in there. I think Dardoch can shot call, but I think he's just so much better at controlling and playing aggressively with that fast tempo. Like, I love how that guy plays, but I put Optic 8th here only because the inconsistency really in their teams, right? And if they would have beat FlyQuest, that would have really impressed me. But they had a slight lead in that game,
But
and then
here,
kind of.
I'm going to cut you off here. The reason Optics should be higher, at least I'm higher, is because of this. They didn't have their full roster, and they actually performed better than they should. Let's be honest. They performed better than 100 teams than our last three, and I think you have to have them a little bit higher. I just was saying, this is friendly banner, guys, by the way. Me and DBSB know each other, for a while now. But I think having Optic 8th is, and 100 teams is 6, dog shit. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, yeah, I'm a Dardoch fan. I'm not an Optic hater. I want them to do well. You could make an argument. Like, I feel like it's fair to put them 6th. I do.
So you think Dardoch should be the jungler going forward?
Well, for sure, but I've always thought that.
Okay.
And again, I'm an Echo Fox fan.
Yeah.
I thought he was awesome. If he can keep his cool, and if he respects Crown, and that's a big part of it, right? Like, if he plays on Optic Academy, he's probably going to be an asshole because that's who he is, and he's going to think he's the best player on that team, right?
Which he is, which he would be. Yeah.
He would be, but Crown is on that team, right? So, like, hopefully he respects Crown, just like he had a lot of respect for Phoenix when he was on Echo Fox, right? And that's kind of what helped calm him down, too. And I think he'll have respect for Crown, and I hope he sees the potential that we all do in Asta, right? So he looked really. I think there's a lot of good things here for Optic. I hope they outperform where I have them at 8th. I just don't think by the end of things, and you're right, this is a weekly power ranking, right? But I don't think by the end of the season they're probably going to be a playoff team. If they sneak, I think maybe they're ceiling 6, But right now, I just think 100 Thieves will end up working it out in the long run.
Yeah, and I had them 6 here. 9th place team now, DBS. Ready for the 9th place team? Mine is CLG, guys, and I'll say this.
No, come on, you can't.
And here's why. CLG, their first game against Op, they shouldn't lose that game. Their second game is Team Liquid. They were never gonna win that game, guys. But I'll say this: like, you cannot have. Did you watch that game, DBS, or not? Chad, did you guys watch that game, CLG versus?
I watched it.
Okay, so that game literally. If CLG doesn't make those 3 or 4 fucking like iron gold dog shit fucking misplays, that game they still lose that game. But it's a 45-minute game. It's not the bloodbath fucking stomp that it was. Like they had like power of there's so many mismanagements, miss fucking cues, miss fucking plays. I didn't believe it. I was saying I wanted to fucking gouge my eyes out. We're talking about Hugh not being an LCS player. Honestly, we saw a shit ton of misplays in that CLG game. I have him 9th, guys, not because I'm a homer, but because if they don't make those misplays, they're probably a lot better, even in an Optic game. But my one question CLG DBSP that we had in their power rank, because we both had him 5th or 6th, was this: what's this team's identity? What is this team's identity? Are they the shotgun split push team that they had when Huey or Aphromu? No. Are they the team fight team that used to have back when they won it all? No. We don't know yet. And we had the same errors, the same mid-range miscommunication that we did all of last year. That's what we saw. I'll say that with CLG. Stixay had a dog shit awful game 1. Game 2, he looked really, really good. He looked like a top 4, top 3 to see. He really did. And Power of Evil should have. What was it? He was Ori and the Sandra. Ori should be winning that lane. He should be winning that lane harder than he did. To be honest with you, he really should be, and he didn't. But and he held onto his ult too long. I just saw a lot of misplays, guys, by CLG. But I have him 9th, and I'll tell you why when I talk about the 10th place team, which is Golden Guard. I'll tell you why more because of that. But yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I have CLG 10th, so I have Golden Guardians 9th.
So talk about the 9th place team. Talk about the 9th place team. Then.
You want me to? Well, I'll talk about CLG
go ahead.
since you and what I saw. So I think Darshan on a Kyle. I think the picks were absolutely stupid that first game, and that just surprised us all, right? They're playing Optics. They're playing Optic Academy game 1.
Yeah.
This is why I put them 10th.
That's
right?
fine, yeah.
Because not only did they lose, it was not particularly close. I think Xerath mid is spicy, and I love the pick.
You like the pick?
I mean, I like it because I like to see that in games. I like to see out of meta kind of picks.
Which Power People will do, yep.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. It's just not mobile. Like, you're going up against Camille, Lysandra, Leona. It's like how are you going to get away from that, right? Like, there's nothing you can do there other than wave click. Now, he did do a lot of damage. If you look at the damage charts after the game, he did a lot of damage. But Moon, I think was okay. I think Darshan on a Kali was a big mistake. And I don't know how Zaya Rakan. There is no excuse for Zaya Rakan to be as bad in the hands.
They were
talking up Biofrost Rakan. Like
they absolutely like dog shit. Let's be honest.
So that was so bad, and they're going up against Asta, a rookie, right? Asta, a rookie, and Gate, the bot lane from the academy. Like, if that does not set CLG up in a place of domination, I don't know what does. Like, that sets them up to win right there. Like, just take over that lane. And they couldn't do it. So that's why I have them 10th, because they look so bad in that game. And then I'm not going to hold the Liquid loss against them, right? It's like, that's not the end of the world. I do think they made the right call, at least in this case. I don't know if they chalk it up. They probably don't chalk anything up as a loss at the pro level. But putting in Fallen Bandit and Wiggly, making that switch for game 2 as basically a practice game, call it a scrim if you will. I don't mind that at all. I don't think they performed awfully in that game. I think Fallen Bandit was trying for good cannon alts all that game, but against Liquid, that's just a tough matchup in general. So I've got them 10th. I didn't think they looked good, and that's mostly based on their game against Optic, right? So, yeah, I just thought everything was out of sync. I was totally unimpressed with Stixay and Biofrost week 1, so that's why I put them low. I hope that changes once again.
I think it will. Yeah, it will change. They're a good bot lane.
And I do have a lot of faith in Power of Evil just in general. So I hope that really comes around for them.
So what's your 9th place team?
So I had Golden Guardians 9th.
And talk about them then. Talk about them 9th then.
I mean, yeah, so Froggen, and Ponser, I feel like kind of headline that team, right? And so I didn't think the roster was bad. I thought Deathly and Ole, like there's kind of some hype around them. Like people talk about Deathly like he's pretty strong, and Ole is like, okay, he's got an axe to grind. He wants to make up for, getting shit on by Liquid and being made out to be the scapegoat and mental and all this sort of thing, right? So I was on the Golden Guardians hype train. I think we both put them in the playoffs as 6 in our power ranking. So I dropped them down to 9th after what I saw. I think they made a few misplays against Echo Fox, and then and lost that one. And their game against FlyQuest, honestly, FlyQuest was surprising, but they just did not play as a team nearly as well. And this goes into the Olaf pick again. It's like, I hate that pick if Contracts is not going to use Olaf early. If any of these players who pick Olaf are not going to take advantage early, then it's a waste of a pick. And he is just going to get shit on every time by Camille, like in the late game. Like, he can't do anything against that. So I've got them 9th. I think the roster will come together a little better. I think Haunser is still pretty good, on Vlad. He still looked good. You can put him on a carry. So, yeah, we'll see what comes from the bot lane, but that's why I put them 9th, just ahead of CLG, and it's mostly based on CLG just totally underwhelming me, and Golden Guardians moderately underwhelming me, but I think they've got more upside.
So the reason I had Golden Guardians 10th is because of all the teams out there. I feel like Golden Guardians not once they have a 5-minute stretch where they looked any good. Where there are 2 or 3 people who looked any good at all. Not once. I was watching their last game. Against Echo Fox, and I was like, man, Nagawas did play well. We had him high in rankings, but they had no point in Golden Guardians. Just like, we talked about 100 Thieves being clueless. I think GG was worse because no one on GG played well, guys. No one on GG. Contra had the one game, I think, on Camille. You know what I'm saying? Which, yeah, he should pop off on that a little bit, but no one. They now have a 5 to 10 to 15-minute stretch, unlike CLG, where you were saying, what the fuck is going on here? At least CLG started out strong as TL, and before they happened, like, they were doing okay. But Golden Guardians, absolutely no no fucking desire, no will, no fucking like clear vision of what they want to do. They had a no 10 5-minute session. They looked good. They looked really, really bad, and I was very, 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 very disappointed. Probably just as bad as 100 Thieves, probably more so, in how just they weren't congruent at all. That no flow, no chemistry, no nothing. This is a team that should, I think, we both have them as a playoff team. We put that playoff team. I don't know if it'll be 10th place. If we manage, they have too much for that. I don't think Froggen's a leader. I don't think they have shot calling. And Froggen, DBS, we've talked about this. He's not a leader. He's not a shot caller. And you're not getting that from him, from Hanser. You're not. You're gonna. Where are you gonna get that from? You have to get that from. Honestly, I don't think always a big time shot caller either. Definitely contracts. I don't see a big voice, and I think because of that,
That's right.
I don't know what this I guess I don't know what this identity is. I don't know. We could talk about their comps and how they misplay their comps. Hanser, Lisa. I'm looking at their comp right now against like a Fox. I don't think it was bad, but like all they played like dog shit. Both games. Morgana dog shit. Rakan absolutely dog shit. Definitely didn't look good at all. Froggen just seemed like a blah. He was just there, just like Echo Fox days, where hey, he's just there. He's just gonna be there. Hans didn't look too good. And Konchak probably looked like the best out of them all, but even him had some mix-ups. But yeah, I think GG they have a big steep. I think they're gonna take a couple weeks to get going because I don't know what their identity is, and I think they have to figure that shit out real quick.
You hit the nail on the head there. Like, I don't know who their voice is. It's like, Froggen is not the voice. Like, he proved that on Echo Fox. Like, that team, I think, could have been better if they were more decisive, and I think that's why you saw they were better last year from where they were on the Froggen version, is because his voice is not that strong or convincing or determined, right? And Hanser...
He's not a leader. He's not a leader.
No, exactly, right? And Hanser has to try to fill that role, which he claims he wants, but... You know, on TSM, he gets put in the mix behind Bjergsen and these guys, and it's like he never had to have that leadership role. It just shows you like how important it is to have that person on your team. That's the voice. That's the determining factor that says, hey, now we go. This is what we're setting up. And you're right. Without a vision of how these games are going to go, and without decisive decision making, they're going to struggle. So I agree with you. After week 1, you know, I'm willing to drop them way lower in the rankings. I've got them 9th. I don't see them as a playoff team anymore based on kind of how things are shaping up. And you made that good point about communication.
And to me, at least CLG, like the way their bot lane played against Team Liquid overall against a really good bot lane, easily the best bot lane, they looked like they could hold their own. No one going to guards like they hold their own. And Froggen, fuck the notion of Froggen. Oh, he's a good player in his team. He has a fucking team now. He has the infrastructure now. I don't think Nero's a good coach for that. I think he's overrated. We can talk about that later on. But like, he has a team around that he could do some things. Don't tell me like, yes, Haunter's a bottom 3 top laner, but he still has some juice to him. Contracts can be a top 5 jungler, top 4 jungler potentially. Definitely Ole, they're not as bad as they showed there, but honestly, Ole's mental might be fucking shot. If he performs like this next couple weeks, I think he might be done as a player, and they have to go somewhere else region-wise. But like, they had nothing going on for them that way, and if you Froggen apologist, don't fucking say anything like that. He's played like dog shit, and I know it's not his fault. It's week 1, guys. When power rankings are done, it's not his fault completely that his team played bad, because when you're Galio DBSB, even though he's OP as fuck, what can you do when your silence is just dog shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do much. You can't do much at all. And they try to go for that laning phase at TP, but they have Galio rise. You got to play the map better than they did, and just no communication, no nothing. Not that they were below CLG in terms of like what we wanted to see and how they wanted to play the game. And I think having identity is really, really huge, because just like FlyQuest last year, just like this, you can be a team that probably should be 7th, 8th, or 9th, right, DBSP, but sneak in the playoffs because you have an identity, you have a vision, that's what you want to do. I don't give a fuck if you're easy to scout or everyone knows your playstyle. Who gives a fuck? It's about making the playoffs, and at least teams like FlyQuest, some teams in the past, we knew what their identity was, we knew what they were about as a team, and at least they stuck with that, they all bought in, and they had that vision. Good coaching staff, good their teammates, but Golden Guardians and CLG, unlike 100 Thieves, they got to figure out what they want to do, because 100 Thieves, you know what they want to do, but Golden Guardians and CLG, we have no idea what their fucking roles is, what their identity is. Before we get callers, anything you want to say about your list? About the list?
We've got some differences there. It'll be interesting to see how these weekend games go. I think what we saw is hopefully a good indicator of the things. I hope every coaching staff is looking on the things that they can work for and figure out ways to play around the strengths. What went wrong, and hopefully these rosters that we feel like are strong end up, reaching that, coming to fruition there. So. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
If you guys wanna, we're gonna take callers now, DBSB. If you guys wanna go in the Big Dick Lobby, guys, the Big Dick Lobby is where we take the callers in. I wanna say with our list, I'm gonna post on YouTube, and it's week by week, guys. So it's early on. We both said that a couple times. It's week by week. Things can fluctuate, but it's good to know every week where we're at.
Yeah. So what we agree on? 1, 2, and 7. And then the rest is kind of jumbled.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think Todd Howard is a scout. We're gonna get him in here. Let's get you in here, Todd Howard. Oh shit! I gotta add you as a friend real quick. That sucks, Todd Howard. We're gonna add him to the call. We can add him to the call. DBSP.
Hello?
Todd Howard, are you here?
Hey, what's good?
Hey, let me get DBSP in here and we'll start, okay?
All right, real quick, can I get you to put your list on the stream? Oh, I gotta mute the stream.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get the list up going on. We'll get DBSP in here. I don't have you as a friends list, so let me add you as a friend real quick. Take no difficulties, guys. It's first week, guys. We got things going on here. Add friend, accept my friend request. Accept my friend request so I can get DBSP in here, okay?
Got it.
Guys, sorry to difficult, guys. Week 1, we'll get things sorted out, guys. Don't worry. We'll get things sorted out for sure. DBSP. Did you have you as a friend, sir? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Good. All right. DBSP. Hey, there is the list is on here. If you can see it. Are you CB Manwish, by the way, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you for following, by the way. Thank you so much for following. We do this every week, every Tuesday. Hopefully you can enjoy the show. But go ahead, Steamy. Give us your thoughts, your takes.
All right. Okay, wait. I was gonna. All right. Okay. Actually, how am I supposed to get my rankings up? Just to organize things.
Well, basically just tell us about like what your thoughts on our list is and some things that you noticed after week 1.
All right. So I think for me, sorry, who is his again? I didn't really catch the name.
DBSB, the great DBSB.
DBSB. All right, I agree with his list a bit more. I think our top 4 looks to be around the same, and then for me, I think my 5 to 7 are basically all equivalent in my opinion. But where I think we sort of disagree is 100 Thieves, man. 100 Thieves, no faith in 100 Thieves. Screw those guys, man. Like,
why? Explain why. Why do you like 100 Thieves? Explain why. Why do you put them?
The Hui Afro combo is probably the worst thing you could do for your team. Because Afro, I think he's a great support. Like, even though he's been slumping. But having Hui and Afro on your team, after watching that on CLG, it's not happening. First of all, look, Hui is the worst mid laner in the LCS, all right? Okay. Hands down. Like, there's no discussion behind that.
Macro-wise, yeah. We could both make an argument there potentially, yeah.
Mechanically, and just having a brain, no, I cannot support Hui in any way. And in my opinion, your team needs star players. So their only way of winning is through Bang and something, which on paper sounds actually really strong, considering you have top 2 in both roles.
Right.
But Hui Anda is the worst combination I've seen on the LCS stage. They have no synergy and they constantly lose. Well, it's only been 2 games, but you can extrapolate from that. It's actually the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it was really bad this weekend. So I agree with you. I've still got hope, but I guess we'll be right. So where would you put them? Somewhere in the 8 to 10 range?
I put them on 8 to 10. Yeah, my 8 to 10 is 100 Thieves, CLG, GGS.
Yeah.
Those 3 teams have no hope.
Yeah. So that's where. So you're right. You agree with Jetto there, and that's kind of where we differ. I just had 100 Thieves higher.
I think the fact that casters are saying GGS are like a 5 to 6 team is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, you were talking about Froggen. Like, Froggen is a known quantity, and that's one thing that I also don't understand why people don't put like value in. If people haven't been performing for the past couple years, they're not going to start performing all of a sudden. I don't think that's ever happened. in League.
The
Like,
thing
I guess
is,
you could say Core JJ moving from ADC to support
Yeah.
to Korea was one, but in general, I have no faith in.
right.
Anyways,
So,
sorry.
so the thing, no, you're right there. I think Froggen was really good in EU, right? Like we can agree, he was pretty good on EU.
He was amazing.
Whether he was with Alliance or on these super teams that he helped make. And then when he came over to NA, right? So it was his first time. He's with the Echo Fox. They're kind of a bad team. He actually didn't play that bad because they like Gate was their starting support. Keith was their ADC who played Ashe every single game. And Froggen was the guy who actually held his own and was fairly strong, and that's why he didn't re-sign. So he didn't re-sign because he's kind of an asshole and a terrible leader in that way. And it's not his playing; it's his leadership ability that I think is poor, and I think it suits Golden Guardians very badly. That he's really probably their biggest voice, and so I agree with you. That's why I don't think they'll do very well. 5th or 6th, I think when you look at that roster and the talent level on that roster, I think you can see it. But when you consider it's a team game, just like you're saying, it's a team game, and I don't see how they're going to work out those issues in the long run. I just don't see it. I think they'll get a few wins here and there, but I don't see them as a playoff team.
I want to go back to the 100 Thieves thing with so Steven Manwich said 100 Thieves didn't see it. I think he thought that acquisition of Huey was really dog shit, and to me, I think it makes sense because first of all, from what I hear behind the scenes with Prolly, I think he's a solid coach. I think he's very, very authoritarian in the way he wants to play. I think we saw it with Medios, the clash with Cody's son. I think we saw that the list. So it's probably an Afro show. Let's be honest, okay? Because something is really quiet. I actually see why. First of all, I agree with you, Stevie Manwich, where Hughie in terms of micro, he's probably a bottom 2, bottom 3, maybe the worst mid laner when it comes to mechanics potentially. But I understand the vision of why they did this. Again, 100 Thieves is the best. Last year, we were probably one of the best macro teams in the LCS. Okay, I understand coming to this year, I want to say they want to be the best at controlling the map, controlling the game flow, and they did that very, very well. Now, why they got rid of Medios, who knows, because he did that very well, but this is a team that wants to play in a macro style, so I understand why, especially with Hughie, why they can go 1-3-1, they can play a team fight comp, because they have great team fighters, they have great split pushes. With Hughie, who can split push, back when they were doing well, they were 1-3-1 CLG, with Someday who's going to be able to 1-3-1 as well, so I understand completely what they want to do. I had him 8th because they look out of sync. They'll be a playoff team, guys. I have no faith about that, no problem with that. They'll be playing better. I don't know if they'll make it to the finals. I think it might be tougher. I know Hotline League last year, I had them I shared them so much because I thought they were going to be overrated because all the nade shot nut huggers. But I agree with you, Steve Manch. You might be on something more like Hughie. If he has a couple more weeks where he plays like he did this past week, then you got to put him in the pasture behind the barn and say, hey, it's time. It's time. So I
Afro, man.
So Steamy, you don't see them as a playoff team at all. You would
No.
Really?
I think there's a definite rift between 8 to 10 and just everyone else. Okay, I completely agree that team play is super, super important. But you can't have team play if your mid is down 30 CS every single game and your jungler is just dicking around in the jungle and getting absolutely steamrolled.
Yeah, for sure. No, but I think this isn't the LCK, right? This is still the LCS, and I think 100 Thieves collectively with Someday and with Bang and Aftermoon mechanically, that's another one you want to talk about, Steve Manwich. Aftermoon mechanics have been on I'm not going to say sharp decline, but we all three know, Twitch chat knows, it's been on the decline last couple years, let's be honest. It's not top 2, top 3. Okay, it's really not. You look at Core JJ, you look at Ole, and you look at Aftermoon. Ole and Aftermoon the last 2 years, definitely not what it looked like when they first came in the league, or when they've been sustaining on the MVP level. But Steve Manch, I think you're incorrect. So they're not a playoff team. I think they will figure it out, and I think Sunday's still good enough where they're gonna pick it. Someday already had almost carried them on their back. Should probably won an MVP, by the way. Nature is right about that. But I think this team, yeah, they have a lot of holes. I think Anda's dog shit. I think Hughie's not a very good mid laner, but I think they're good enough in the LCS to at least scrape by and get 5th or 6th. That's why I disagree. I think macro-wise, they're going to be on the same page. And I think that's why I think I have enough faith in them for other teams to get in the playoffs.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Is who do you have your 6th there? So we have pretty solidly that we see Liquid, Cloud9, Clutch, TSM, well, right now FlyQuest, but it's maybe FlyQuest has shown, better or worse than they can be. But who do you have as that 6? Do you have Optic in there, Jetto?
I have Echo
or you
Fox.
Have Echo Fox. See,
yeah.
I think 6 is Echo Fox's ceiling for me, but I don't think they were particularly impressive this week.
So you know how you guys basically group up teams into, like there's a TL tier and then there's C9.
Tiers, yeah, we did that in the last.
Yeah, so
last
my mid tier team consists of TSM, Optic, Fox, Fly in that order. So TSM is at fourth, and then Optic, then Fox, then Fly. So my 5 to 7, to be honest, could all be somewhat interchangeable. But essentially, I think that Optic is actually it all depends on Crown for me when it comes to Optic and if they play Dardoch.
Yep.
I think if they play those two, they could actually easily be better than TSM. Because I also don't have faith in TSM for certain reasons. We could probably get into that later, but essentially the question is, why do I have Fox over 100 Thieves?
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Like who's that last playoff team for you? Not 100 Thieves.
So the few factors I look for in a team is star power, team play, coaching, and then finally having no liabilities on your team. And that's what Fox has. Echo Fox, other than solo, which is top lane, which I feel top lane is one of the places where you have, you could always have someone like Whippo, just stick them on Sion, just have survive. So 6 to 8 all have liabilities on the team. And I just feel like 100 Thieves, their mid jungle is one of the weakest things I've ever seen. And in a game of League of Legends,
yeah, that's true.
in League of Legends, it's always been a mid-focus game. Always. I don't think there's ever been a meta where it hasn't been. Maybe Ardent Sensor. Maybe. Even then, if your mid laner is losing and they all just 4-man your bot, you lose. And again, if he's not on Aurelion Soul, man, he's not an LCS player. It's just as simple as that.
That's fine. That's a fine take, yeah. That's a fine
also,
take.
just watching Crown, I was insanely impressed on his Lissandra.
Yeah, I thought Crown was gonna. That's what me and db.sbs said a week ago. I thought Crown, the way I saw him in Korea, he's a confident player, and I know very confident in Korea, and his mechanics look very shoddy, last year actually. But if he plays like he did last week, then Optic's probably gonna be maybe surprise some games, surprise some.
If he plays the same as that, they'll probably be a fourth. I'd actually put them above TSM. TSM, the only reason I even have them in the top 4 is just because of Bjergsen.
And the way their top play, their top player played really well too.
Broken Blade actually also. But their macro is one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I don't think
that was bad, but I feel like that can be worked out. I really do.
No, not with Ziggs. After years of seeing him on CLG, not with Ziggs. CLG has always been super good at the early game. They get a lead and they just do nothing with it. That's exactly what.
Yeah, that's what CLG
has that problem, and it's not going to be fixed with Ziggs. Either Ziggs is going to put a KD on Gragas every single game, and it's just not going to work out. They're going to lose confidence, and by the end of the season, they're going to be a 6th or 7th place team. The only reason I have them 4th is just because I have faith in Bjergsen.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
I guess that makes sense because we saw how CLG played last week. I just have faith in Ziggs. I have faith in this team. I don't think we're going to see another rehab last year where they look like dog shit, they play like dog shit. I think, and same thing we said last year, they have too much star power, but I think this time around, then they'll get going. And I think honestly, TSM, unlike in years past, they got an early game lead. Like, they've been getting early game leads, like against CLG, against other teams. They've had some really good leads, and I think all they need to do is very, very simple, like db.sb. I think just if top lane's going to get a lead like that, just play around him, split push, do whatever they have to do. I think they'll be able to play around their leads a lot easier than they did in the years past. I really do, because I think their top laner is very much upgraded. Small sample size, very much upgraded. I think their bot lane is much upgraded because we know Mithy was dog shit. We all agree with that. He played very, very poor. I think Smoothie's not great either, but I think they'll be better, and I think Bjergsen, we all have our faith in him. I hear what you're saying, Manwich. I really do. Yeah, you bring up good points because it's like, well.
I mean, yeah, I put them 4th. I don't think they're actually bad.
I think they'd be top 4, top 3, like where me and DBSP. We have them higher than you. But go ahead, DBSP. So say your thing about TSM, DBSP. Then Howard, you'll have some final thoughts, and then we'll go to the next caller.
Yeah, I had TSM 4th. I think Broken Blade will end up being rookie of the split, but it's like who's he going up against? Asta and Niski, right? So I think Broken Blade looked really good. I have tons of faith in Bjergsen pulling this thing together. If they fix the macro, which is a question mark now, I guess, is what you guys are saying, I feel that being something that they can do. I think they're going to play better with leads. I think they're going to shape that up. I still think Sven is very good. So yeah, I see TSM really finishing no lower than 4th. I would actually see them moving ahead of Clutch. Like, I've got more faith in them than Clutch, honestly. It's like,
yes.
Clutch, I feel like, is going to totally rely on Hooney's play. And like, I mean, that's to me. That's to me as a Hooney lover and apologist in general. It's like that team is going to be totally reliant on his play. And I could definitely see them falling farther than I see TSM falling.
If I can just have one more comment on Clutch.
Good.
Look, Clutch actually has probably insane stuff. Like their top laner Huni definitely did not have the strongest performance. But Piglet, I'm telling you, Piglet is actually going to make a comeback. He's actually going to explode this year. Piglet has played. Piglet played insanely well. Demonte, I think he's a solid mid. Like he's not a liability. And I also think Lyra is also just going to have a stand-up performance. And you have 3 Koreans on your team, so communication issues that usually play teams that have like 1 or 2 Koreans, I think they're going to be somewhat mitigated, especially if they're your 3 stars too. Essentially, all I'm saying is that Clutch Gaming is going to do it this year.
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Like
maybe.
the pace of their game, and I just think that their raw mechanics is just enough to put them over the edge.
Any last thoughts, Howard? Your pick to win the LCS is obviously Team Liquid, correct?
Yeah,
It's everyone's,
unfortunately,
right?
I have to say, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's everyone's, yeah, for sure. Well, Howard, thank you so much for calling in. We do this every Tuesday. Hopefully, we can have you.
Having me.
Hopefully, we can have you call in every Tuesday, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me. See you guys.
Hey, thank you. Yeah. Any more callers, boys? Any more callers, boys? Any more callers? We're gonna get db.sbs on the line. Anyone else? Anyone else in the caller, boys? CF more good thoughts in chat, absolutely. Anyone else? CLG fighting, yeah. Hey, we'll get CLG. We're on the up and up, boys. We'll be on the up and up, but unbiased, right, Steam Manager? We're unbiased, Steam Manager, absolutely. Anything else, Sabonis? Can you hear me, Sabonis?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I think that wraps it up. I think really good takes there. That's what we want. We want people to show up in chat and in calls to give their opinions too. A couple talking heads is something, but if you've got good points to add and can articulate them like that, that makes for a better.
Let's go in Discord and we'll talk to Bearcash real quick. Sabonis as our last caller.
Sounds good.
Yep. I'll go in a bit of lobby. I'll drag you in there. Bearcash, the second caller, first ever 2-time caller. Bearcash, what do you want to talk about, sir?
Hey, what's up? Hello?
Hey, Bearcash, how's it going this week?
Bro, I'm all right, man. I'm all right.
What do you want to talk about this week, sir?
All right, so I only watched the first 3 games, okay? But first I want to talk about first game was Zoe Niski. What team's Niski on again?
C9.
C9. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I want to know what the coach for C9 was saying, that Niski has the potential, or not even the potential. He thinks that for sure he will be better than Jensen eventually. And I want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. This is about DBSB. I'll say this. So, again, I'll say this again. I actually, Bearcash, you were actually watching last week. I thought Niski was dog shit. I thought he was overrated. But I think what he meant by that, from a coaching aspect, and I agree with Reaper, Bearcash, is that he probably thinks Niski will listen more and be more flexible, more versatile, right? DBSB. That's probably what he meant. In terms of, like, Jensen, if we all know this, especially if you're watching the LCS for a long while, Jensen's kind of set in his ways. Not in a bad way, but he wants to be lane dominant, doesn't want to roam all the time. Niski has shown that he's not afraid of roaming, he's not afraid of being a team player, and he's just probably going to be way more easier and team-focused than Jensen. Now, I'm not saying that's good, I'm not saying that's bad. I just think Reaper probably thinks, potential-wise, he probably get more out of Niski than he did out of Jensen. Now, Jensen might have a higher ceiling, but he probably thinks he can get more consistency and more team play out of Niski, and because of that, Bearcash, all those intangibles, I actually agree with Reaper. Okay? Mechanic-wise, I still always going to take Jensen over him, but I think Niski probably showed some potential, and who is Reaper to go against? DBSP, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like Jensen is the best, or one of the best mid laners in NA, right? And at least, even if he's not, he thinks he's the very best. So you come into coachability issues, which I think was part of it, which is why he got benched for Golden Glue last year, right? So it's all because of that attitude. So I think Niski has talent, and I think he's very coachable. So I think that's what Reaper is actually excited about. Yep, you're right.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. All right, second question, same game. It's about Svenskeren on Nunu. Now,
that game.
His first gank that he got top lane, that was pretty well coordinated, but otherwise, I think Nunu just, as a jungler, he kept getting picked, and it's not like Sion where if a team's beating you down as Sion, you can at least try to mitigate them continuing the chase with his Q or his shield, you know what I mean? But with Nunu, he kind of throws snowballs at you. He can't really prevent you or try to dissuade you from continuing to chase. So every time Svenskeren was getting picked, it seemed like he couldn't get away. What do you guys think about the Nunu pick?
It was bad, but Reaper's gonna do that a little bit. I think it was bad. DBSPT, you could talk more about that.
Yeah, no, I think you picked Nunu for objective control, right? And
I see what they were going with it. Yeah, like I'm looking at the comp right now.
initiator.
You can see where they're going with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and to have that initiation, right? You just roll snowballs down, hit somebody, pop your ult, and hopefully your team cleans up, right? So, yeah, it didn't work out for them, but I don't think it was terrible. I think you play it in niche situations, and yeah, I just don't think they played it particularly well.
Are you a fan of Svenskeren, DBSP, and Bearcatch? You guys a fan of Svenskeren or not? I agree he should be playing over Blabber right now. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I like him better than Blabber. Sorry, you want to go ahead first?
No.
Simply
I
yes
was
or no
just
question.
saying,
Simply
I
yes or
think,
no question.
I think it's a toss-up. I think they bring different things, right? You've got over-aggression in Blabber, and you have measured kind of veteran play in Svenskeren, right? So it's kind of a mood thing for me.
All right, so now moving on. I just watched the first 3 games, so now
Yep.
I'm going to the second game. So 100 Thieves versus TSM. So I want to know. So I know Todd doesn't like Huhi at all, but in my opinion, I think that game, like, if you're able to, at 19 minutes, they both have about the same amount of farm. 209 for Huhi, 205 for Bjergsen. I think if you can play against Bjergsen and farm like that, you're like an LCS player, even if you're not on Aurelion. So this is my opinion. But besides that, your boy Someday, Jetto, your boy Someday on Victor.
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts specifically. Like, do you think he's comfortable on the champion? Do you think he just did it because the coach wanted him to go Victor, or?
So that's a good question. So for Someday, I think he should win MVP last year. I do think 100 Things will rate him. Someday's champion isn't as wide as like a Huni or as a Licorice or as wide as people think. So I want you guys, if you guys want to sound smart when you're talking to your friends about 100 Thieves, Someday's champion is big, but it's not as big as you guys would probably think it is. Like Licorice or Huni. Well, Huni doesn't count because his champ pool is like deep, right? DBSB. But his champ pool is more of a just like, he's going to play his tanks better than anyone else probably in the world potentially at some points. And he's going to have 1 or 2 kind of aggressive picks that he could do it. He's not going to pull out the Camille, pull out the Victor, pull out all these other champs that you think, holy shit, is going to wow you with. To answer your question, Bearcat, I do not think Victor Top is good in any, even the LCK. Like, I don't think it's good at all. I think it's way too finicky, way too difficult to play around, even for an LCK team or an LPL team. And B, to answer your question, the second part of your question, I do not think he is comfortable. However, Someday is going to definitely have to perform because now that you have Huhi, you have Botling, you have to put Someday on more. You can just sit him on the fucking Maokai duty, on fucking top tank duty. You got to give him some freedom to play whatever he wants. And I think you have to see him. We're going to have to see more champions like Victor. Not Victor, but champions like that that can kind of like more dominate Aatrox. Those type of champions, maybe even Camille, where you can dominate top lane because the way they're built, the way Huhi's built, the way they play, they have to stretch him out more. But Victor, I don't think is a good top at all. I think DBSP is going to agree with me. I think you'll agree with me. Chat will agree with me. Victor's not a good top in any meta, any fucking anywhere for teams to play. But Huhi will play better, guys. Like, I'm not a Huhi apologist. I don't think he's a top 5 or top 6 mid laner. I think he's going to find his groove. I actually think that he's going to play better. I think he's going to play better, and because of that, I think 100 Thieves will be a player. I think Anda is way more of a source buff than Huhi, DBS. Do you agree with me? I would have more questions about Anda than Huhi, because at least we know what kind of player Huhi is when he's playing at his best. Anda, we still don't know. But to answer your question, Bear Cash, I do not think he's comfortable with that, and I don't think Victor Touch should play again by anyone. Go ahead, DBSB, to branch off on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think Anda's the question mark. Huhi is not great, but I still think when all is said and done, he's going to be fine. I still see them as a playoff team. I really do.
Yep.
I guess we'll see.
Bear Cash,
All right,
any last question?
Yeah, you guys can get one more caller, so I'll just ask one more quick question. I'm actually curious because I like to play Zilean a lot myself. What's the best way to play against a Zilean? Do you focus him first and try to make him use the ult on himself, or how do you what's the best way to attack a Zillion?
I want to say this. So DBS, we can talk about it in solo queue and stuff like that. I'll talk about the on the LCS level. I just want to say an aside, not really any crushing. Bjergsen, Zillion, and Jensen Zillion, they're fucking really, really good. You could tell Bjergsen has been practicing this champion. Zillion is actually a top 3 fucking Zillion in NALCS. I'm not saying the world, but I meant this. His Zillion is one of his better champions of last year, guys. It really has been. You can tell Bjergsen's spent a lot of time with that. And honestly, he just provides so much in team fights. A really good Zillion can just zone, can just do a lot of good things with team fights, can be a lifesaver, can really control the flow of the game, can wave clear pretty well. I actually like Zillion a lot. I think Zillion's going to be a back pocket pick from most mids from here on out the rest of the year. He's never going to be like meta, but he's definitely going to be like the next Orianna DBSP. Where like, back a couple years ago, it was like Orianna was like the safe pick, the pick that you would go with. I think we can actually see Zillion now be the next Orianna. We're like, hey, who do we pick mid? I don't know. Maybe Zillion. Even though you kind of want to play your comp around there with it, Zillion Camille is ridiculous because of the insane dive potential. But in solo queue, I guess Bearcash is wondering, how would you attack that DBSP Zillions?
Yeah, I think you have to force the ult out early. That's the only way you can win that team fight, and then maybe even I don't even know, disengage it. Like, make sure you fight when it's on cooldown. The problem is that thing at level 16 is on like a 20-second cooldown.
Yeah, that is.
So it's ridiculous to fight around. So yeah, no, I 100% think Zillion should be banned. Almost like, how at Worlds they were banning out, Heimer against G2. It's like I feel like they should ban out Zillion against Bjergsen for sure. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like Bjergsen should have taken it that second game instead of the Urgot pick, which they put more priority on.
And Zillion's better than Galio in the sense, which is because I know TSM used to spam Galio on Bjergsen. Galio, it's tough to get kills and control the map as well in Galio if your silos aren't doing well. At least with Zillion, you can still help out your team in a way, but you're still pushing your lane and being a threat, roaming a little bit, and it's a good champion for Bjergsen the way he plays. So yeah, but Bearcash, thank you for calling in, man. The second caller in a week. Thank you so much. We do these every Tuesdays. Thank you, Bearcash. Thank you a lot, man. Anything you want to say?
Nah, db.sbs. Did I say that properly?
You got it, man. Sabonis is the game name.
Sabonis. All right, Sabonis, Jello. Thank you.
Thank you, Bearcash. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. DBSP.
All right.
DBSP, that's it for us. I'm going to post it. Go ahead.
Real quick. I don't think we're going to disagree. We can run through here, do picks. I'm just going to give you mine. I don't think we're going to disagree much. And then
that's good. Yeah. See, man, which is in here. We're going to take a tally after, not this week, but eventually we'll start taking a tally and we'll keep our record. So that'd be nice, a bonus. Maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it. I'll put it in Discord and do it from here on out. But go ahead. Give me your picks.
I'm just going to say, okay, so Fox TSM. I'm taking TSM.
Okay.
You probably are.
Yep.
Okay, C9, Golden Guardians, taking C9. I don't think we disagree.
Yep.
Right? 100 Thieves versus Liquid, going Liquid.
Yep.
FlyQuest CLG, I'm going FlyQuest. Are you going to disagree?
I agree. For what we saw, absolutely, yes.
Okay, so we don't even need to tally if we agree all the time,
yeah.
but so we'll go until our points. Now, here's one. Clutch versus Optic. I'll take Clutch. You agree?
Clutch is that team we talked about, that very versatile. I'm gonna say yes, but man, Clutch can win against anyone, they can lose against anyone. But I'll take Clutch. Yeah, go ahead.
You had pick, right?
We agree so far. Go Sunday now. Wow, we agree.
Okay, yeah. So Sunday,
this is a spicy one.
Golden Guardians, 100 Thieves. I'm taking 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I actually this is a close. I'm actually going to think 100 Thieves. This could be a clown fiesta. I feel like it's wrong saying 100 Thieves, but I'm going to go with 100 Thieves. Go ahead.
Okay, here's one we're probably going to disagree on because I'm pulling out my homer pick here. Optic versus Fox. I'm going Fox.
I think I'm going to go with Optic, and that's because I just feel Alarim. Wait, is it Alarim on Optic? Yeah, it's Alarim, Crown, and their bot lane will probably outplay Echo Foxes. I know. I'm going to go with Optic, guys. I'm going to go with Optic.
Okay, Liquid Clutch. I'm going.
That's easy.
Liquid.
Yeah.
TSM FlyQuest, so we might disagree here. I'm going to take TSM.
Yeah, I'm going to go with TSM too because I think their fix last week is super easy. I think once they play against other teams that put them in more positions, more difficult positions, I think will be an issue. But if Fly comes and takes the fight to TSM, unlike last year, I think TSM is willing to take those fights and just like skirmish more and play more early with Smoothie and Broken Blade. Absolutely. So I go TSM, yeah.
I'm with you, but it wouldn't shock me if FlyQuest won
Yep,
that.
that's
but
true.
I'd pick it.
Yep.
And then CLG Cloud9 taking Cloud9.
Hey, count on the game, but yeah, I have to go with Cloud9. And honestly, I'll text DBSP later on this week, and we'll redo the picks DBSP, and we'll start tallying them. We'll start tallying them, and at the
Okay,
YouTube.
well, we only have one difference, so that's Fox Optic, right? So that's our big difference.
Yeah, but we just gotta keep our record. We gotta still keep our records, though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I guess
for
we'll.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just saying.
yeah, but yeah, DBSP. Thank you so
man.
much. Every Tuesday, guys, I'll try to do it around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then once.
We're gonna do it before the dive for sure. So
Yeah, we got to. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for calling in, guys, for chatting. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Sabonis, any last words you want to say, DBSP?
No, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you for taking time, Sabonis. Yeah, thank you so much, DBSP, and see you next Tuesday, sir.
Yeah, dude. Bye.
Guys, that was it, guys. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to put this on YouTube. And thank you so much, guys. I'm going to start streaming here in a little bit. But thank you so much, guys. We had a lot of fun, guys. We do this every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Be here, be square. Guys, I fucking love my callers. I love all you guys. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you guys next Tuesday. If you want to talk about the LCS, guys, Week 2 show. Thank you so much, guys. Peace out. Thank you, guys. Thank you.